Out of curiosity, I don't know the answer to this. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. However, like, do you all measure in terms of like where a business is before they start the program and where they finish? Like historically, does a company increase revenue or increase customer count by a certain number or a certain percentage?
Yeah, so we follow a couple things, and there's the whole spectrum of where people are in terms of the phase of their business. And, I talked about that, person who just had an idea on the back of their pizza box. And today they came to us. We have started working with people as far from that as you can get, where they've actually already received some, initial investment, and they still need help. And a lot of it comes down to they're really good at selling their idea, and they may have even gotten some traction, but they don't know what to do from there. And that's where we can come in, and why we have our introductory program, because no matter where a company is, you may have somebody in a cohort that they just have an idea, and you have somebody who they are already selling, but they're doing the same work, because it all comes back to learning from the customer and then using that information to make business decisions. So the person who is just at the idea stage is going to be asking different questions and looking for different information than the one that's further along. But the process is what's important, and following that. So ultimately, we can work with anybody from that idea on the napkin all the way through, they've received 1 or 2 rounds of funding. Generally, where we don't work with companies anymore is, one, if they're above the SBA's limit of what a small business is, because that's where we're getting a large portion of our funding. And then also, if they have created a true board of directors or advisors who should be doing this work. And in that case, we can work with that entire team to help get them up to speed and get them understanding how to follow this process. And then we'll leave them be to follow their own path. But really, everybody in that sweet spot, which we call early stage companies, we're able to help wherever they are.
For a company that, I lost my train of thought. Tim, I literally thought about this for 5 minutes. I didn't write it down.
No, so one thing, so when you talk about early stage, do you require companies, do they have to be an entity? Do they have to be a registered business? Can they be, or do they not have to be, and you help them get established? How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So ultimately, they don't need to have any official status as a company. We try to limit the barriers as much as possible. So the only real 2 qualifiers for being able to join our program is there has to be some sort of tie to the Commonwealth. So they either are living here, or they have established their business and there's an office, they're headquartered in Virginia, something to that effect. And then the second piece is that they are a technology or innovation-driven company. So we try to make sure that there aren't barriers, because we want to be able to have that person who just had the idea come to us and get help without having to go through too many steps. We have 2 things that people need to do. They need to register as a client so that we can track our time with them. And then the second is to just apply to the program, so that we're getting some very specific information about their idea that will give us a baseline to go off of. And then we just start meeting with that person to learn more, get up to speed, and then start working with them in order to move forward.
So wearing a I Heart Virginia shirt isn't enough?
That's one step just below the threshold.
I've been directly involved within our entrepreneurial community for years. And the most common question I get is, Tim, I want to get involved, but I don't know what events I should attend. Well, Startwheel eliminates that pain point, because we consolidate all the events you should attend into a single calendar. Now you'll be in the know and see where to spend your time. Gone is the need to search multiple websites and calendars. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.